Hi, I'm going to share with you some really powerful but really simple techniques for cleansing and consecrating your space. And these are small things that you can do every single day or once a week or whenever you feel like the energy of your space has gotten a little stagnant, a little heavy. If you're a yoga teacher or if you're an energy worker, and you've just led a big class or a big training, a workshop, or you've been doing lots of energy work with clients, these are really, really powerful ways that you can nourish and protect your own energy. The more I practice, the more I teach over the years, the more I have come to learn how sensitive we really are. Even if you don't think that you're all that sensitive or that you don't get all that affected by the energies of the people around you. We really do. And it's one of the biggest reasons why, especially if you are a teacher or an energy healer or a creative, sensitive soul, this is why we can often feel burnt out or depleted, tired, fatigued. We're picking up on the energies that actually don't belong to us. It's taken me a long time to learn this, so I'm really excited to share these simple strategies with you. They're really, really beautiful, helpful, and mindful. So, of course, the first one is to just light a stick of incense here. This is something that I try to do every single day. And I light the incense. I come out here to my front porch, and unfortunately, my front porch is also facing north, which is a nice direction that I often like to begin these practices with. And from here, intentionality comes in. So for me, I like to begin the day by lighting this stick of incense and using it as an offering, to the nature spirits around where I live, and really just developing this nonverbal relationship with the energies around me, particularly with the earth and Mother Nature. And just as a little thank you, as a little offering, right? It provides a moment of mindfulness for me and a moment of connection to remember that it's not just about waking up and going to answer my emails, as I so often like to just do. It's really about waking up and taking a moment to remember that I am a part of a much bigger, wider, connected web of life. Another thing that you can do with your incense, or if you are lighting up, maybe a bundle of sage, and by the way, I do hesitate to use sage, and I've stopped buying white sage, of course, because of cultural appropriation and wanting to be respectful and ethical in my spiritual practices. So that's why I stick with the incense here. You can also draw symbols with this material. Now, you can do this with just your hand as well, and I often do so. But if you are a Reiki practitioner, and if you have learned the Reiki symbols, then you can actually use them while you're doing this too. And I really find that these two practices together help to amplify the energetic qualities and the sanctity in the practice here. So just to give you a demonstration of that, if you are familiar with Chokurei from the Reiki tradition, right, you can use the sage bundle if you are using sage, or in my case, the incense here, drawing your Chokurei, Chokurei, Chokurei. You can either recite it out loud. I often just think the name of the symbol 3 times in my head, as it was taught to me to do so. I often like to do this in front of the doorways where I live. So my front door is right here, and I will draw a chokurei right over the doorway. Chokurei, chokurei, chokurei. Saheki as well. Saheki, saheki, saheki. Now, as I'm doing that, I am also feeling really rooted to the earth through the soles of my feet. And it just is such a beautiful and really simple way to get grounded and connected. This is also a beautiful way to help protect your space by putting those symbols, by putting that intentionality right in your front door. You're basically saying to the energies around you that only what is for your highest good may enter here. And if you are not familiar with the Reiki symbols, that's no problem at all. Frankly, just the other week, for whatever reason, really intuitively, I was doing this practice, and instead of the Reiki symbols, out of my hand just came a bunch of infinity symbols, like one after another, after another, after another. And I just kept doing it. And that's what felt right in the moment. I feel like drawing those infinity symbols, either with just your hand or a stick of incense or what have you, that is another beautiful way to protect yourself, to protect your own energy field, and to protect the energy field of where you live. Where we live is really a sacred space, and it doesn't matter how much square footage you actually have, right? It's about the feeling that you get when you step inside of your space or when you're approaching your space. It should really feel like a sigh of relief, like, oh, good. Because again, if you're someone who is giving of yourself through your teachings, through your creative work, through how you share and live, then you're going to really need to have a place, a sanctuary that you can rest, nourish, and restore yourself. You might think that you don't need to do these small things, but if you do find yourself getting a little worn out, a little drained, fatigued, and depleted, and you're not really sure why, start implementing some of these techniques and see if it helps. I have found for myself and for many of my students that I've shared these techniques with that they are really, really helpful. The other great technique that you can integrate with all of these is the energy zip up. And I explained that in one of my other videos. But just again, for a quick refresher, because it's so easy and it's so quick, all you have to do to zip up your energy field, imagine or actually use the hand gesture. You can tell, right? I'm Italian. I like hand gestures. That helps me get into it. And you can either draw with your hand, like a zippering action, zippering up your energy field, imagining that you're holding on to everything that's yours and everything that is not yours exists outside of this safe bubble, essentially. Or you could just really think that and imagine this zipper drawing up from your root all the way up, sealing up the primary centers of energy along the center column of your torso, all the way through your crown and down the back. I do this, I just imagine it sometimes if I'm, at the yoga studio and I've got a big workshop or a teacher training about to come in, and you can just like feel their wonderful energy. I'll just do a little zip up. It doesn't mean I'm closing off the world. It doesn't mean I'm shutting down at all. It means that I can engage and interact while still respecting my space, while still respecting their space, while being able to hold space for each other in a way that is preserving, that isn't depleting. This is so key so that we can continue to do our great work in the world without feeling lost and tired and overwhelmed. So I hope that you find these techniques helpful. And if you do give them a try, let me know, and let me know how they go and if they help you feel more grounded, more centered, and more protected. Thank you so much.